Our next RPG horror story is gonna be a doozy because it's from Duke Doozy, Secret Sociopath. Oh, I hate to break it to you, Duke. There's no way to be a secret sociopath. Everybody knows you're a sociopath. This one's called...
Where did you find that secret sociopath?
It's right next to his name up at the top. Oh, it doesn't show on yours.
Yeah.
It's right next to his name on mine.
Okay, all right. Because you're logged in, I guess.
Maybe. The title is Learning While Doing, or The Tale of the Invisible Gorilla. Good title. I like it, Duke.
It is lighthearted, so not so horror. This all happened 3 days, 16 hours, and 18 minutes ago. I have not stopped thinking of gorillas since. TLDR at the bottom, which we will skip. My party recently switched from D&D 5e to Pathfinder 2e, and it was decided that I'd be GM for this campaign. It's been nice. We all like the new system, but it hasn't been without its challenges. Most of those challenges come from it being more of mathematically based.
Yeah, probably. If you're math challenged, stick to D&D.
I haven't GM'd in a while, so in a way I'm knocking the dust off my boots, which is at times challenging while learning a new system I've not played before. My players are blameless. I'm the horror story here.
Quite an admission.
Whoa, that's a start.
He admitted that he's the horror story? Oh, I like this guy already. He's definitely not a secret sociopath, though. He called himself out.
We will see about that. Maybe that story will have a double twist.
Double twist, yeah.
As most here know, encounters in D&D 5e can be a lot looser than in Pathfinder. You just sorta get a sense for things, can play it a little loose, and if you make the monster too tough, it really isn't a problem. Action economy in 5e is so important that 3 weaker PCs can easily overcome a single stronger opponent. And there's always the pervading sense that, yes, the book says this, but they haven't met my players. Every time I've thrown something strong and goofy at my party, it hasn't been a problem. They've made it through with HP and spell slots to spare. I didn't know that the Pathfinder 2e encounter math actually worked. This is math-based.
And obviously it's a lot less forgiving than D&D 5e, especially the 2024 version of 5e. Very, very difficult to balance encounters in the new game. I mean, level 3 characters can easily defeat a CR12 creature. Easily.
CR12?
Yes. I just had it happen. I threw a CR12 at them in my Tyranny of Dragons campaign, but they beat it. They didn't really get mad. They just were surprised that I threw something that strong at them. But I'm like, you guys, you didn't breeze through it, but you won. You won.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. There were some lucky rolls on their part. I would say if I had rolled a crit at any time, they probably would have TPK'd.
CR12 though, we will have to think something to balance the encounters and challenge players. Because without challenges, this is not a game, it is just like press the button to win.
Exactly. And I think I now know where this story's going. Have you figured it out?
I think that TPK is about to come. A lot happened in session 1 with the story and the evil cult they are opposing. But one of the sillier things that happened was that the wizard town of Hezekiah, the Great Mage, blew up due to his inability to properly maintain certain OSHA violating words after being depowered by a curse. Okay, I don't think that I understand everything that has been said here.
OSHA is an organization that maintains workplace safety in America. So he's using real world terminology in this Pathfinder campaign. So this is some kind of homebrew hybrid, real world kind of fantasy mix or something. Maybe he did it to be funny, or maybe he worked for OSHA, so he thinks it's funny to put his real life into there.
But maybe there is something like representing OSHA, and he is not referring to OSHA, but just to make us understand what it is. Even though I didn't understand what it is, and thanks for telling me, because I didn't. As a result, many of his animal experiments escaped confinement. I wanted this to have recurring consequences, so every once in a while, going forward, I planned the party to fight a miniature griffin or some other sort of changed monster or animal. I have them level up after session 1, as it our way, so in prep for our next session, I start thinking of what to do with my newly level 2 PCs. I pull up an encounter calculator and see that for 3 level 2 PCs, a lone gorilla is actually a level appropriate moderate difficulty encounter. Sure, I say, bold and foolish, but they don't know my players. They can get out of anything. So I make it an elite gorilla, which still puts it below a severe encounter per meth. But then I think, thing just escaped a wizard's tower. Wouldn't it be funny if it got tangled up in some kind of magic item? Wouldn't it?
He just amplified the already amplified gorilla.
And according to title, I can guess that it is invisible. And they couldn't even see it.
Yeah, that must be the magic item, like a cloak of invisibility or something.
I think that it is TPK is near, is around the corner.
And Q session 2.
The party elects not to rest The party elects not to rest after the end of their big fight in a tomb last session, so they start down some slots. I think this is a bad idea, so have them hear something big and mean stomping around outside.
Can I roll to see if I recognize the sound?
Asks Chloe, party witch and my partner. Cool? Secret recall knowledge? Nature roll. It's a gorilla, and it sounds like a really tough one. I say, praying their rest.
If I poke my head out, can I see it?
Secret seek check. Nope. Now Everson, cleric, is saying,
it would be so funny if there was just like an invisible gorilla.
So they leave, intent on getting the hell out of Dodge and continuing on their quest. There's a guard giving them guff, harassing them a bit for trying to get past his gate. They argue back and forth a little bit, and then guard turns into a fine mink mist. More strawberry jam than man. Ripping off a cloak of invisibility that had gotten tangled on its head, it is an enormous silverback gorilla. The gorilla begins chewing the cloak and beating its chest.
I called it. Cloak of invisibility, I called it.
Yeah, magic item.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Why not?
But still, it revealed itself. I thought it would hide them from invisibility.
Well, maybe the GM thinking, all right, they didn't rest and they're doubling down on not resting. So maybe I better have this gorilla tear apart an NPC to reveal itself instead of killing one of them.
Yeah. Listen to my cues.
Yeah.
See me winking.
Do you not see the railroad tracks I have laid out before you?
Yeah.
There says rest area right there.
A cozy little campfire. The party finds this very funny, and Everson is in a state of disbelief that I actually planned this. The gorilla runs up, puts on a frightening display, and they fail, and turns invisible. The observant among you will note that this should count as 4 actions, because frightening display is an activity Barry, the barbarian, and by far the party member who has read the system the most, did uses. Frightening display must be some kind of buff to demoralize and be 1 action. 1 action to move, 1 to FD, 1 to turn invisible. Frightening display, and 1 to turn invisible.
Now, my theory was that turning invisible wouldn't be an action. This gorilla doesn't have a plan. It's a gorilla. It's eaten a magic item, and at the end of each of its turns, it'll become invisible or visible. Our 5e games have always worked with goofy shit like that. But Barry's first turn is wasted searching for a shockingly stealthy gorilla. Then Chloe's and Iverson's. The gorilla pops back in and starts actually fighting the party, wreaking havoc.
Oh my god.
I'm okay with this. The fact that it ate the magic item is making the magic item act weirdly. He's not triggering it to become invisible. It's just happening randomly. So I would probably
like it.
I like it too. I'd put it on a die roll. Like on a 5 or 6, he's invisible. On anything else, he's visible.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't tie it to an action of the gorilla because it's not. It's random.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't have a plan. It is a gorilla.
I like that. That's a good line. It's worth noting here that an ape in D&D 5e is a medium creature with 19 hit points, AC 12, CR 1/2, and +5 to hit. An elite gorilla in Pathfinder 2e has 60 HP, armor class 20. That's crazy for a creature that doesn't wear armor. It's a creature 4 and has +13, +9, and +5 to hit.
Oh, okay, John. This is impossible to beat.
It seems like it at low. They're only level 2, right?
+13? How can you fail this? Only with a net 1? Or
pretty
net
much.
2?
If they have an 18 armor class, you got to roll 4 or less to fail, 5 or more to succeed.
This creature hits hard every turn.
Yeah, and it doesn't say anything, but I would guess this creature probably has multi-attack. Not positive, but there are CR 1/2 creatures, like I think it's Black Bear that has multi-attack. So why wouldn't an elite gorilla have 2 attacks? Like a fist and a bite or something like that.
But as a DM, you can reduce this ability, I guess. Because
True.
This is impossible at this point.
True. So despite all this, the combat initially goes promisingly. Barry gets the beast in a headlock, the barbarian, crit succeeding on a grapple. He grappled a gorilla. Nice.
Elite
So
gorilla.
So it's restrained, and Iverson focuses on healing and Chloe on buffs and chip damage with her hex powers. Then the gorilla escapes the grapple. As it turns out, unlike D&D 5e, the action economy of Pathfinder 2e is actually pretty well optimized for a single baddie to be a threat without minions, especially if they have a high 2-hit bonus, which this one does, 13.
Yeah, for certain.
Yeah.
It's unbeatable.
I thought it'd be a simple case of a 3 versus 1 curb stomp on a powerful but ultimately outmatched beast. Instead, just a few rounds later, I assume, Barry is wounded 2, and playing tag with the floor. I assume he means he keeps getting knocked out and raised back up by healing. We've seen that happen. We've seen that happen with somebody's tiefling druid recently.
I'm there to make fights better.
Yes.
Not doing much besides that.
No, you get hit, knocked down, death save, get back up.
Yeah, roll net 1 and hit my fella.
Iverson is out of heals and slots completely, because remember, they didn't rest, and is resorting to just hacking at the damn thing with his scimitar, rolling mostly 4s, which, unless you're an elite gorilla, does not hit anything. And Chloe is the only one managing to keep up a string of chip damage via Needle of Vengeance, protecting Barry. Though this shockingly willful gorilla keeps saving every time. Will is, I guess, like wisdom, or I don't know.
Gorilla is too wise.
Okay. Yeah, the gorilla is super wise and keeps saving against Needle of Vengeance spell.
It is like wise master, like those in Chinese folklore monkeys.
Yeah.
Wise monkeys.
He's monkey.
Yeah. Yes. Monkey.
So no one's having a bad time. It's still fun, but no one expected this to be the fight of their lives. What was supposed to be a quick combat against a silly foe is turning into a grueling hours-long encounter. Honestly, it feels surreal because this monkey won't effing die.
Of course it wouldn't.
Well,
I don't see.
no.
I don't see how they figured, how they considered it to be a fun little challenge when this beast turns out to be this gruesome.
Yeah, they're fighting King Kong all of a sudden. They were not prepared for this.
They were being prepared for Donkey Kong.
So everyone is down to single-digit hit points. The least visible gorilla you ever haven't seen is still rocking with 15. Every time Barry or Iverson goes down, someone has to waste most of their turn moving to them and healing them. With the amount of turns they've spent popping back up, it's growing increasingly difficult to justify this silverback not spending actions to kill one of them once they're downed. My strategy to delay their untimely deaths on a meaningless encounter is backfiring. Do you do that in your games? Are you viciously going after the downed player, or do your creatures take them down and move on to somebody else?
To somebody else.
I do the same thing in most circumstances. Highly intelligent assassins or people like that, especially if there's not another imminent threat, will probably try to kill a character. But a gorilla wouldn't. I think a gorilla takes one down and goes after the next person doing it harm.
Yeah. So
right?
It's not all that wise, but it is wise enough.
To pass all the saving throws, yeah. Backfiring because Frightening Display isn't some time waster ability. Its debuffs are actually devastating to their ability to hit. The Frightening Display ability that this gorilla has is making it even harder for them to hit it. Iverson is yelling at me that if I don't murder him with an invisible gorilla, then I'm a cheat and a coward, affectionately, but also very earnestly. So Iverson is saying, you should be killing us with this creature. You shouldn't be sugarcoating this combat.
Yeah, true. Don't be a pussy at this point.
Yeah.
You started it, let it to the end. Finish it.
Yeah. And that's a great attitude to have as a player. I know a lot of players that would not like that. So bravo, Iverson. Well done. The call is made. I steel myself to finish someone off if they go down this turn. Barry, at 2 hit points, swings twice from his back and misses both times. He can't do anything else because he was just picked up from dying and had to pick up his club, Big Bone. His club is a big bone. At least in the process of getting downed, Needle of Vengeance did some 1 point of damage.
Okay, all right.
Iverson,
the Big Bone.
Iverson, maybe at 5 hit points, actually hits for his first attack, dealing 6 damage, but is frightened 1 and misses his follow-up attacks. Down to the witch, who thankfully crit saved before on one of the Frightening Displays, so she was immune to the rest. Chloe's telekinetic projectile actually hits, but she needs an 8 to put the monkey in the dirt. And if she fails, it's ape time. She rolls exactly 8. And the how do you want to do this moment is here. So much rejoicing is had, but we honestly spent the rest of the session emotionally recovering from the gorilla fight from hell. Also, in getting level appropriate gear, which they didn't have because I'm an idiot who didn't realize you're supposed to be getting minor magic items early. I promise I've learned my lesson.
Alright, so I think that it's been a good fight. It's totally not a waste of time, and they all had a lot of fun. Magic item can be delivered next session after he will prepare.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he really did that much wrong here. I think he overly amped up this creature. I think sometimes you gotta, like he said, the intention was to give them an easy fight, not something that took up the whole session, so that they can move on with the game. Save this type of fight for your big boss fights or major parts of the storyline. So I don't think he did anything really that wrong. Everybody had a good time with it. Even the player, one of the players was saying, you should have killed us.
Yeah, on this random encounter.
Yeah.
This
And if he
little
had
random
been,
encounter.
then it would have ended very differently, right? Because they kept getting up and helping with the fight some more. If he would have killed one or two of them, they wouldn't have had enough firepower left to take this gorilla down. Yeah.
I thought that it would happen, that if the gorilla takes one of them down, it is TPK for all of them.
I think
But
so. I
they
agree.
managed to hit the gorilla, to knock it, to end its miserable life.
Yeah. And the dice decided, right? Because if the
True.
dice had rolled anything other than an 8, the gorilla would have probably killed one of them, or maybe more than one of them.
This is dice rolling, the
Yeah.
pillar of D&D and Pathfinder and all of the TTRPGs. Dice have the last word.
The DM and the players all collaborate to tell the story, but the dice have a say as well.
Yeah, true. That's
Yeah.
why we love TTRPG.
Absolutely. It is by far the best hobby, pastime, and for some of us, business that there is.
There is true.